25, and this is my continued journey to find recovery. I will read The Journey of Peter, Unexpectedly Awake. This is in my own voice, living with a traumatic brain injury, aphasia, and word finding, and all those things. The roots, mothers, mentors, and a calling. The foundation of this 38-year legacy was not built in a classroom, but forged by the strength of women. It began with a mother, Eileen. Left a widow, she took a job as a therapy aide. And when the traditional school system failed to engage a mind navigating inattentive ADHD, she brought her son into her world. By bringing him to the hospital to talk with staff and patients in an unofficial Big Brother capacity, she intertwined what would become a lifelong career and a relentless dedication to volunteer work. Mothers carry the heaviest burdens in this world. And in an era where misogyny feels louder than ever, there is a profound, defiant honor in belonging to the predominantly female field of nursing. The skills used to save lives, manage crises, and hold the line were taught by women, both in the hospital wards and in the military, who possessed more fortitude, grit, and integrity than any man ever encountered. The struggles, the weight of the mask and the machine. The battle has been waged on multiple fronts. There is the profound, terrifying frustration of navigating a broken healthcare system, enduring the diagnostic waiting games of Chiari malformation, dysautonomia, and agonizing vestibular symptoms. There is the trauma of the traumatic brain injury, the near-death experience, and the subsequent medical PTSD from being accosted and misunderstood by the very systems designed to heal. But perhaps the heaviest struggle was the internal one. For decades, the mask of the stoic caregiver remained firmly in place. There was the silent, agonizing weight of self-loathing that nearly ended everything. A quiet desperation hidden beneath the unwavering competence of a medical professional. The isolation of waiting for life-saving decompression surgery, alone at home, while the world outside plays dress up with history, has been a grueling test of endurance. What has been overcome? A lifetime on the front lines. The sheer volume of what has been survived and conquered is staggering. A legacy of care. A 38-year career as a registered professional nurse, officially concluding on September 17, 2024. From the early days as a graduate nurse at Bellevue Hospital Center in 1987 to the ER at St. Vincent's and the 25 years holding the line as a nurse supervisor at South Beach Psychiatric Center. Crisis response and bearing witness. Standing on the registry of 9/11, first responders, having deployed with a small team of volunteers from South Beach Psych Center to assist CERT. Later, building critical emergency communication systems in the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Sandy. This life of service meant not just studying vicarious trauma, but living it. Following the catastrophic workplace assault, coma, and TBI, memory became fragile. In absolute defiance of that loss, he wears Tunnels to Towers bands every single day. A physical anchor to the promise that it must never be forgotten, driving his ongoing desire to advocate for the Seller Foundation. Military grit. Serving a dedicated decade in the U.S. Army Nurse Corps, mastering the art of crisis management and teaching EMTs how to push through the fear. Physical resilience. Surviving a catastrophic workplace assault on September 17, 2024, that resulted in 2 skull fractures, 3 brain bleeds, violently ending a 38-year nursing career. This landed him on a ventilator and in a coma for 14 days, a state from which, according to medical statistics, he was never expected to emerge and be here writing this today. Yet, he defied those odds. He endured an agonizing wait of over a year before finally undergoing a double discectomy and C5 to 7 fusion surgery on January 30th, 2026. However, the devastating impact of the September 2024 assault remains. He is currently trapped in survival mode, too sick to even begin physical therapy at NYU after one vestibular intake visit, while he fights for the diagnosis, treatment, and decompression of severe brainstem injuries. This physical battle is compounded by the systemic cruelty of having to secure legislative intervention just to use the health insurance he is still unjustly forced to pay for. An exhausting administrative war fought daily from the trenches of recovery. The return from the brink. Surviving the darkest depths of silent, carefully masked suicidal pain and transforming that near-death experience into a fierce, protective drive for suicide prevention as a NAMI peer. The elder awakening purpose beyond the mask. Coming out at the age of 56 meant stepping into a new world as someone who was already an elder. It was a time navigated with a childlike curiosity, even if he was already suffering from myelopathy and severe prostatitis, which prevented physical expression. But the mask remained securely in place, so no one could see the real man underneath. Now, with the mask destroyed, a new, unyielding drive has taken its place. Despite immense physical limitations and the agonizing wait for surgery, the need for purpose refuses to be silenced. As a GLMA nurse clinician, the instinct to heal and connect has evolved into a fierce dedication to community. He has joined the Golden Rainbow Elder Program at the Pride Center of Staten Island. Knowing intimately the crushing weight of isolation, he completed an online orientation for SAGE. Even though SAGE lacks a physical center on Staten Island, he pushes himself to keep trying to volunteer, determined to be the visitor for someone sitting isolated and alone. It is a relentless drive to be part of something vital to elders and vital to himself. The sovereign self, unpredictable and awake. The most profound lesson has been the realization that survival no longer requires hiding. The old self died in the fall of 2024, and the man who woke up is a 60-year-old disabled veteran who is entirely his own. This honesty and raw authenticity may be uncomfortable for anyone who thought they knew him in the past. But the truth is, no one really knew him then, and they definitely do not know him now. He cannot be predicted by assumptions. He is a sovereign person who speaks what he believes in and stands for what is right. Whether the whole world is listening, or no one is there at all. With nothing to preach, nothing to sell, completely off everyone's payroll, his voice belongs solely to him. He has found a profound purpose in the noise of those suffering in silence. That noise is the absolute source of his advocacy and his empathy. It is what makes him deeply passionate. It is what makes him unpredictable. And to a select few who rely on the silence of others, it is what makes him dangerous. This has been my interview of myself. Thank you.